Let's just pull out the Rincon 2 here, even though it is glued down. Hold on. Oh gosh, there it is. There we go. So it's like it's. Here we go, everybody. Oh, a little Charlotte's Web, anybody? Huh? There's a good book. Okay. Back to cold weather running, hence all the gear. It's in the 40s today, raining out, but we're going to get this first impression done for all of you of the HOKA Rincon 2. Let's pull them out of the box. Looking good. Loving that colorway. Not my full review. That will happen after 50 miles, which I do believe is going to come up pretty quickly. And here's the HOKA Rincon 1 from 2019. Cannot wait to get you a comparison. Little running shoe battle between these two shoes. And yes, the 2019 vlog of the Rincon 1, upper right-hand corner, has over 100,000 views, as I mentioned a couple days ago, which tells me this shoe is very... it really caught a lot of people's attention in 2019 because all the research, like there's most vlogs on this channel do not get over 100,000 views. So that means a lot of people were searching, Google, YouTube, like, wait a minute, what is going on with this shoe? And yes, I did the research. It is named after a surfing spot near Santa Barbara, California, the Rincon surf spot. So there you go, onward and upward. Let's lace up and get going out into the cold. Okay. There it is. Cheers, everybody. Good afternoon. Here we go. Hopefully this is the last time I'm gonna need to wear my palm hat out in the studio. It's freezing out here, but we got a hot espresso ready to dive into my thoughts on the Rincon 2. There it is over there, and the Rincon 1 with a lot of crazy. I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is actually gonna turn into a little bit of a running shoe battle. I wasn't expecting it, but we're going down that road right now. But first, let's do a quick throwback to about 9 months ago when I said this about the Rincon 1. And for my positive and drawback or negative, the positive, versatility. And yes, versatility is gonna be the key word because I think you could go long run, you could go tempo run, you could go easy day run. This shoe appears to be very, very versatile. There's your trip down memory lane for today. A versatile daily trainer. It could accomplish, the Rincon 1, accomplish a lot of different tasks in your training regimen, okay? So that was 2019, but now we're talking about 2020. Now for my first impression through the streets of Denver today, you all know in 2020, I've been running a lot in Asics, a decent amount in Nike, and then recently a lot in Adidas. This shoe has a very wide, I noticed it immediately compared to those other running shoe companies, how wide this landing area is. I'm not saying I love it, I'm not saying I dislike it. It just was really, really distinct. As soon as I started running, I was like, wow, it just feels wide underfoot, and I'm not saying there's a ton of ground contact feel either, okay? So there you go. That's just my first impression, first steps out of the box. All right, here we go. 29 millimeter stack height in the heel, 24 millimeter in the forefoot. Do those stats sound familiar to 2019? Come back to that in a minute. 5 millimeter drop in the HOKA Rincon 2. As far as weight goes, we're looking at 7.7 ounces. And again, I do apologize, I couldn't find a women's size 8. So forgive me there, but as soon as I do track it down, I will post it in the comments down below. And then there it is on your screen in my size. And moving on to the upper of the Rincon 2, you know what it's, as I'm rubbing my fingers over the top here, it's reminding me very much so to the touch, to the Carbon X. You see it down there in the corner from 2019. A lot of people love the Carbon X, so that is the feel of this mesh upper on top of the Rincon 2. Probably what's changed the most as far as the upper goes is the overlays on really the medial and the lateral side of the shoe. It's the white here through and the heel counter, okay? Probably the most in the heel counter. It's this white, which just gives this heel counter a little bit of rigidity there as I'm pressing into it, just to give a little strength to that heel counter, which frankly, okay, I'll come back to that in a minute, but my heel was not slipping at all as far as moving out of the shoe. I am gonna come back to the width of the shoe here in a minute. As far as the rest of the upper goes, the eyelet chain, pretty standard, straightforward. It's very similar to other HOKA shoes. It is not a gusseted tongue, okay? Just so you know, not a gusseted tongue. It's not connected to the sidewalls, the inner sidewalls of the upper. I had plenty of tongue there as far as lacing up the shoe. And then I'd say the collar of the shoe, what wraps around your ankle, and the heel tab. So this is the heel tab. It's approaching plush, but it's definitely not all the way all in plush as far as the comfort level goes through the upper. And for that midsole, just your classic EVA, like one big piece of EVA midsole foam throughout the Rincon 2. Classic Meta Rocker feel, okay? Reminiscent of 2019. And for the outsole, exposed EVA midsole, especially here through the midfoot, with some added rubber here on the heel and through the forefoot for a little extra durability to help increase the lifespan of your outsole. But mostly we're looking at, I'd say 80%, probably 85% exposed EVA midsole. I will say a groove here. I'm not going to quite call it a decoupled groove, but a groove here to help, I guess, save a little bit on weight here through the heel area, moving up into the midfoot as well. As far as the fit and comfort goes on the Rincon 2, so length of the shoe, we're good to go, but I did have, my heel was not slipping out of the shoe, but my heel was moving laterally just a little bit inside that heel, what I'm going to call the heel pocket. We often talk about the toe box. What about the heel pocket? So I wasn't slipping out of the shoe, but just a little bit of side to side motion, ever so slightly. Again, just my first impression. I'll get you my full review and keep monitoring that lateral motion there through the heel pocket of the Rincon 2. For my positives and drawbacks of the Rincon 2, positive has to be the versatility of this shoe, given the stack height being pretty high, very cushioned, but also very, very lightweight. That has to be my positive. Reminiscent of 2019, like it's just butter my bread lightweight type of feel. And for that drawback of the Rincon 2, it actually doesn't have much to do with the shoe. It's more about me, meaning I am striving, as many of you know, to be a 4-foot striker moving forward, especially for road marathon racing. And I personally don't know if I need this much stack. Like today on the run, it felt like the shoe kept getting faster and faster and faster as the run went on, but it felt like I was not using the stack height in the heel, whereas I could foresee if you are a heel striker, and let's just jump into it now, who is this shoe maybe best for? I would say leaning in the direction, if you're a heel striker and or maybe you're midfoot to heel striker, you're not a true 4-foot striker. It felt like I was not utilizing the heel stack height as I should be. So that is my drawback. It's more about me, not about the shoe. Rincon, I still love you. I still love you. My durability prediction, 300 to 400 miles. I could foresee, because the midsole is so kind of soft, a little softer landing, I don't think it's going to be incredibly resilient over the long haul. Also, that there's so much exposed EVA foam, I do think like it's going to break down pretty quickly, because it's not even, sometimes on outsoles like this, you will see the companies add like a rubberized EVA just to give it a little more strength there on top of these kind of these foot pods here on the outsole, but that's not happening. It's just straight up exposed EVA. So that's why my durability prediction is going to be a little on the lower side. Time to buckle up. Price point, would I buy again in a miniature running shoe battle? Why? Because these shoes, let's pull it off the shelf, Rincon 1 versus Rincon 2. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I love the studio. I love comparing shoes for all of you. And actually, somebody posted, I think it was Twitter a couple days ago, they said, man, I feel duped now because I just bought the Rincon 1 and like it was the day I opened up this shoe here in the studio. Here it is on your screen. I opened this shoe up and the guy, that's who it was. He commented down below and he said, oh, I feel duped because I just bought the Rincon 1. Well, have no fear. Here you go, $115, 2019. Rumor has it this will be for sale for $115 as well. Early July, Rincon 2, early July. But have no fear to that commenter out there and everybody, exact same midsole, exact same outsole. What changed? The upper, ever so slightly. You know what's the biggest change? Is the overlays through the, like I already mentioned, through the heel counter and the lateral medial side, this white overlay that they placed here. Let me just do a quick, hold on, test. Yes, it's like the strength and resiliency of the heel counter is just a little higher in the Rincon 2 because of this but it's like ever so slightly, everybody. I'm telling you, and yes, the mesh upper did become a little more refined, I would say. Like the actual material, the actual weave that they used is a little more, I don't know if it's gonna be more resilient. Again, I'll keep testing over the next 50 miles, but I'm telling you, everyone, it's like this shoe is very similar to the 2019 iteration, okay? So have no fear. You can pick up, and maybe after this shoe is released in early July, is the rumor, the price of the Rincon 1 will come down a little bit. I don't know. And even everyone, it's crazy, but like, I don't mind this thin sock liner that they put in the Rincon 1. And let's just pull out the Rincon 2 here, even though it is glued down. Hold on. Oh gosh. There it is. There we go. So it's like it's still a very paper thin, just very thin sock liner. They can get away with it because they have so much cushion here through the midsole. Don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? Isn't that how the saying goes? Like, everyone loved the Rincon 1 so much. I think they probably took a cue off of that and said, hey, why change it? Like, everyone loved it. So they did barely do a little update to the upper. So I'm actually kind of excited because we all loved this shoe so much. All right, everyone, question of the day. Who ran in the Rincon 1? Did you enjoy it? What did you like about it? Maybe what did you not like about it? And will you pick up the Rincon 2? All right, that's the second option. Will you be interested enough in the new upper in the Rincon 2, even though it is very minimal on the updating scale? All right, everyone, there you go. First impression, Rincon 2 in the books. And of course, I gotta toss it back to my full review of the Rincon 1 right there. I think from about 7 or 8 months ago it published. So right there, lots of interest in this shoe in 2019. So if you wanna learn more, check it out right there. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Onward and upward. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.